Hello, athletes and fans of bodybuilding. Terrick with the Mr. Olympia. Today, we have the best fitness competitor in the world. She won the Fitness Olympia, Missy Truscott, with a great performance. And actually, it's not her first time winning. She is two-time Olympia champion. How are you, Missy?
I'm good, Terrick. I'm so pumped to be on with you guys, Wendy and Isabelle. This is awesome.
Very nice. Thank you for having us. Also with us, she is the USA overall winner in 2011 in the figure division. She's also an Olympian. My co-host today, Wendy Fortino. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I was just talking to Isabelle about the USA, and she was overall in 2008, and I won in 2011. So both of us are OG. She's a little more OG than me, though.
Oh.
not old that way, but
is that what you're trying to you're trying to call her old on national television? Is that what you're doing, Wendy?
I'm probably
That's
older
exactly
than her.
What
so.
she's doing. That's all right.
Well, my other co-host who will survive Wendy Fortino's comment, she's the 2008 USA overall bodybuilding champion. She is fit rock star Isabelle Terrell. How are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you guys?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thank you for having Missy. You won 2 times. Whitney Jones won 3 times. Whitney Jones said, if I was there, Missy would not have won. I'm going to beat her in 2023. What are your words to Whitney Jones?
I know Whitney very well, and I don't think she would have said that. But Terrick, I do think that the fitness division now is at its all-time best. And, I'm really excited to see what the girls bring this year. I know that the skills have gotten a lot harder. The physiques are looking more like figure Olympians. I'm very confident in myself this year, and I'm ready. I'm itching for the Olympia this year.
Oh, Wendy, who are you picking for the 2023 Fitness Olympia? Are you going with your co-host Whitney Jones to win the 2023, or are you picking Missy Truscott, the current Olympia champion in the fitness division?
I knew you were going to ask me this question. This is Terrick. Why do you have to do this to me? Why?
You're going to lose
followers.
My goodness.
It's called this segment. It's called losing followers, losing friends.
I don't want to lose any followers. First of all, personally, on a personal level, I love them both. Okay, they're both my friends, and so it becomes difficult when you're friends with somebody. I think this is what we find on our social media feeds. We have people who follow us, and like no matter how you do, those people that love us are like you're the best. Like nobody else can beat you. So it becomes really difficult. There's a conflict of interest with both of them. I mean, I want both of them to win. So don't do that to me. Just don't do that to me. I have questions I want to ask Missy. So
go ahead. Just take it over from me before I have Isabelle lose some followers.
Okay. I don't want to cut Isabelle off or anything, but I just want to ask Missy. So last year, Whitney wasn't on the stage. You arguably performed your absolute best that you've ever performed, so we can say, Missy definitely would be first no matter what. The year before, Whitney had placed ahead of you. I'm just curious, what did you change? And aside from being an apex predator, what did you change? And then what do you know going into this upcoming Olympia based off of Whitney's strengths that she has? What do you plan to do to, counter her strengths, and what strengths do you bring to the table?
Yeah, that's a great question, Wendy. I think with the fitness division, the gals have gotten really good at choreography and routines where it shows their strengths and not their weaknesses.
Right.
My routines always show a plethora of, power moves, strengths, flexibility. I don't hide anything.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I took the Arnold off this year. That was on purpose. Although they were calling me and really wanting me to compete this year, I had to respectfully decline because I wanted to bring my best to this year's Olympia. And the only way I could do that you know, you guys know I love competing. I had to take the off season to practice skills, to give my body a break because I pushed really hard for this year's Olympia, thinking, you know, that Whitney and Oksana were going to be there. Because, you know, they're no cakewalk, right? I had to bring my best. And unfortunately, they weren't at their best and they weren't able to compete. And I really hope that they will be at their best at this year's Olympia because, you know, I welcome the competition. I want to, you know, stand up there and own it.
Isabelle Terrell, did you notice that Missy mentioned Oksana and she mentioned Whitney Jones, but she didn't mention Ariel Kadar? No. Do you think Missy is not counting Ariel Kadar as a threat?
I think she does not count Ariel as a threat. No.
Missy, is that correct?
You know, I'm confident that if Ariel brings her best and I bring my best, my chances are good.
Well, here's what's interesting. So I'm surprised she hasn't mentioned Jacqueline.
I want to go
right up there.
Is Jacqueline out of your radar or Missy Truscott?
Yeah, I mean, you know, the top three girls, yeah, they're all stepping up their game in the physique round and in their routines. But yeah, like I said, if I bring my best, and I've had a very long off season, which I've never had before. I've been competing multiple times a year since 2017. You know, doing figure shows. Back in 2018, I don't know if you remember Wendy and Terrick. I did your show, the muscle contest, Border States.
Yeah.
I think Wendy, you won. Did you win that show? I think you did.
I was close.
Okay.
But I was up there, but I don't think I won that show.
Oh, you're so snobbish, Wendy. You've won so many shows that you forgot about it. Oh, God.
Do that to me.
Oh,
okay.
God.
First of all, that is so not true. Second of all, I am the least winningest person in this whole group. So there's that.
I have for Missy.
Go ahead, Isabelle.
Missy, who do you consider the greatest Fitness Olympia champ of all time?
Good question.
Oh, it's got to be Adela Garcia. She is legitimately the GOAT. Like, it doesn't get any better than her. Yeah. And I haven't like said this publicly yet, but Adela and I are going to be working together this year on my fitness routine, which I am so excited about because
that's so cool.
Yeah, I know that, you know, 8-time Miss Fitness Olympia, like what better person to help me with my routine. So I'm very excited about that.
Hey, Missy, I don't know if you know this gentleman. His name is Christopher Cormier. He was an average bodybuilder in the 90s. And he picked Ariel Kadar to win the Olympia. And when you won the Olympia, you went up to him and you said, "You're going to have to eat your words." Do you have anything else that you want to add going into the 2023 Mr. Olympia to Mr. Christopher Cormier?
Chris is fun, you know, like.
Okay, I'm going to take this. This may not be more comfortable, but I want to go a little deeper here. Okay, yeah. Rather than being on the surface, let's talk about what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses? Because I know you don't hide any, but I'd love to know because everything looks like a strength. And then if we could break down, let's talk about Whitney's strengths and maybe weaknesses, and Ariel's strengths and weaknesses, because I think the audience would love to know, you know, what each of these athletes maybe play off of, and you work so closely with them. What is your take on all that?
Yeah,
let's start with you. Go ahead and go over your strengths and weaknesses, because I don't think anybody thinks you have any.
Well, Terrick, you're the judge. What do you think? I'll let you pick.
Oh, okay. I like when people put me on the spot.
Just push it around.
So, you know, the first thing that we have to take in consideration is this. As a judge, you sit there at the Olympia for literally 8-9 hours, right? And you see competitors coming and going, different categories. I got to tell you, there's a special admiration from all the judges, from all the officials, and actually from a lot of the other competitors in regards to the fitness category. Because, I mean, the amount of effort that you have to do, and a lot of them are on the same diet as everyone else. I mean, it's just incredible. And then you see them jumping in the air. It's absolutely incredible. I call the fitness category heroes.
Yeah.
So when I look at Jacqueline Baker is very artistic. She doesn't do a lot of the explosive movements that Whitney Jones and Missy Truscott do. You know, I put Missy Truscott, Whitney Jones, and Ariel Kadar on a category of very explosive, very high energy, you know, very athletic movements. And, you know, they follow the criteria. They do the basic movements that we ask. And then Jacqueline Baker and even Oksana can do some movements that are very artistic, and sometimes she slows down. I think Whitney Jones is at her best when she comes in and she's mega energetic. That's her game. When Whitney Jones comes on stage, you expect something outrageous. She's just going to shock you. You will never see Whitney Jones being vanilla or plain. And that's when she's at her best. Now, Jacqueline Baker should never play that game against Whitney Jones or Missy Truscott. She should always be artistic, and that's what gives her the best chance. Now, she's won the last 2 Olympias, and I thought her performance in 2020 was better than 2022. I thought she was even better in 2020. I also didn't think that Whitney Jones' performance in 2021 was her best. So I have to look at Whitney Jones 2019 as her best performance and Missy Truscott 2020. And both of them are about effort, energy, and, you know, some of the most incredible movements on stage. And I think if there's any weakness in Missy Truscott game is if she makes a mistake, which she hasn't done it. So if she's doing all these movements with a lot of energy and one of her transitions is not fluid, that's going to be a mistake. But she hasn't done it. But we are watching for that. You know, we're like, okay, you want to do all these crazy movements. What are your transitions? Are you going to come out of that crazy movement graciously, or are you going to miss a step here, lose your balance? And she hasn't. You know, I give her credit for that. Ariel Kadar at the Arnold, she won, but she missed maybe 1 or 2 steps. And if I were to give feedback to her, I would say, Ariel, you're unbelievable. You can win a show even missing 1 or 2 steps on the transitions. But if you're going against Missy Truscott and Whitney Jones, you can't do that because they never miss a single step.
What about Oksana? Because in 2021, 2020, she came in second, and then in 2021, she came in third. So what are your thoughts on if she competes this year?
So I think Oksana continues to be a phenom on her presentation, but I think her physique is maybe we are not at the prime of Oksana Grishna's physique. I think her physique was superior a few years back. Now, Oksana has a very nice mixture of athleticism and artistic. She's like a Jacqueline Baker artistic with a Missy Truscott, Whitney Jones explosion. And that's why she's one of the greatest. But the game is very hard between these competitors. The game is very hard. You are talking about, obviously there could be a surprise here, but you're talking about 3 or 4 competitors that they can go from first to fourth if one mistake happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a lot of pressure, but you could tell that Missy is used to the pressure. And I think that when I think of the fitness division, you have to be able to handle so much pressure in that moment. You have that 2 minutes. It's 2 minutes, right?
2 minutes. Yeah.
2 minutes. You have 2 minutes where all the pressure's on and you have to perform, and you could practice it a million times perfectly, but it only counts in that 2 minutes, and that how do you handle that pressure? I mean, that seems to me just mind-boggling to have to handle.
Yeah. So like last year I started working with a mindset coach, and he's out of Pickering, Ontario, Canada. Oh, wow. He's actually worked with some like top bodybuilders, Fouad Abida. He's worked with Jay Cutler. He worked with Ronnie back in the day. His name is Alvin Brown. And we tapped into like the mindset and how to really, you know, embrace all of that like pressure and
Yeah.
change. And
Ooh.
that's helped with, you know, my confidence in myself. And I'm super thankful that I started working with him. It's been really good, like therapy for me. You know, I do have a very supportive husband, and him and I talk about a lot of things, but it's different. Like, you don't want to put so much on your significant other. It's good to have like another outlet, whether it's like like a mindset coach, like what I'm doing, or an actual like therapist or something. But I really think that's helped me. And I don't know, Terrick, if you remember like me backstage at this year's Olympia, but like I had headphones in and I was just literally like meditating backstage. I was in like, it was so chaotic back there, but I had like peace and I was ready. And that was something that I learned how to do last Olympia.
That's awesome.
You know, Missy, you
That's
strike
awesome.
me as very intense backstage. Every time I see you backstage, you strike me as very intense. If there's two people I wouldn't recommend to mess with backstage, it would be you and William Bonac. Somebody came up to me and said, who are the two people I shouldn't mess with? I would say, stay out of the way of Missy Truscott and William Bonac. Those are the two people.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Terrick. Go ahead.
They're on the zone. They're very into their thing, you know, and they do their thing. But go ahead, Isabelle.
I was going to ask a question. If Susie Curry came back today, would she be as competitive? You guys hear? Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to think of Susan Curry.
Routine wise, possibly. Physique, no. I think our division, the fitness division now, has elevated that physique. I mean, I've kind of proved it where I can compete in the figure division as well. I actually qualified on points in 2018 for the Olympia, which is kind of crazy.
I know. I thought that was the year you were going to transfer over, and then you started winning Olympias, and I'm like, I guess she's not coming back to figure.
Yeah. So I do, Isabelle, I do think that the physique has just totally like leaped past that look. It's kind of like with every division, right? We just evolve. We keep evolving. Sure.
Yep.
When you did 2015 Olympia, were you in figure or is that fitness?
No, I was in fitness. I remember that one, obviously first Olympia, but I was in the first call out for the physique round, which was insane. And then my routine, I wasn't as confident back then. And I placed last at my first Olympia, but we got to start somewhere.
I mean, it's amazing to me. You know, one thing I respect about you, besides being the apex, the shark girl, I mean, you have this mindset where nobody tells you can't do anything, right? Like you're going to give it your all. So Terrick asked the question earlier about who is going to win this year's Olympia. You know, you have two titles and Whitney has 3. I think there's a very good chance that, both of you are so good, but I really feel, because I know how you work and I know how you just both of you put everything into it, but I strongly feel that it's a big possibility that you can take this Olympia. And I also want to say, I hope that you break your lucky streak, because every time you do a routine in the last few years, you've had like the best of luck.
That's awesome.
So you see here, the transitions out of a very, very, athletic movement for Missy Truscott are flawless. And Whitney Jones has the same quality.
Yeah.
If you want to beat them, you have to equalize the same level of performance. It's a lot of times in the fitness category, it's the small transitions. I mentioned that on Olympia TV. I want to go back here real quick because sometimes people don't understand what the judges are looking for. And on this movement here, okay, obviously you don't understand the level of strength, right? At some point during her preparation for the Mr. Olympia, she made this movement and she was in front of the mirror and she thought through it. She said, how can I make this pose not only athletic but also aesthetic, right? So she's turning her leg a little bit, she's bending her leg in the back, and then she has the presence of mind and saying, I also need to face the audience to make this, aesthetically pleasing. So it's not only an athletic movement, it's something that she took the time to make it appealing to the audience. And those things count. Those things count, because there's a lot of competitors that they're able to do this movement. But the question is, we just saw Missy Truscott doing the same movement with a little bit more of a level of difficulty, right? Do you agree with that statement? Did you prepare for that moment, Missy? You knew you were going to have to do that, and then you say, I got to go the extra mile here.
Yeah, Terrick. So that's, good point. All of the, every second of the routine has its purpose. So like you just said, me looking at the audience, it all is choreographed in. And I do all my own choreography. So it's, we nail it. Like right there, boom, look at the audience.
Yes.
Bends up.
Yes.
So they all have like little counts to it, I guess you could say.
Yeah. One thing I noticed about your physique is you are when it comes to gymnastics moves, it takes a really strong core. So one of the struggles that fitness competitors always have is creating that perfect V taper while having to perform those movements that require you to recruit muscles that take away from aesthetics. One thing about your physique is your shoulders are so wide that it seems like you barely have to jump off the ground to go so high. And structurally, you're just so wide in your shoulders that I think that it counters some of the some of the things that happen to most fitness competitors, which is, thicker in the middle, and tending to take away from that aesthetic. You always have that awesome V taper. And when I look at your physique and how powerful you are and your flips that you do on stage, it's those wide shoulders. They propel you. They help you with your physique. I mean, is that something you've ever really taken into consideration when it comes to creating that aesthetic physique?
Thanks, Wendy. I appreciate that. It's crazy because when I first started lifting, I was 17 years old, and I just got into all the compound movements.
Yeah.
So, I'm doing barbell shoulder presses, and I'm squatting, and I'm doing bench pressing. So I did all of these heavier type compound movements, and I really think that helped my physique. I had no idea what I was doing back then, right? Isabelle, I'm sure you probably did similar type training back in the day. You just got after it, what you kind of see the bodybuilders doing. Sure. I really think that helped. Yeah. And my legs too. All I did was squat when I was 17. I didn't know any other way. So I think that really helped with my quad development. And now it's just kind of maintaining everything,
I got to say though, during your routine, you weren't really 100% either. You were sick, weren't you? Yeah.
So sick.
So I breathing problem as you were wearing that prosthetic?
Well, I got sick the Monday before Olympia. Really sick. It was hard to breathe. I couldn't taste food. I was testing for the C word, was negative. And I actually didn't think I was going to be able to compete. My husband was really concerned. I was talking to my coach daily, Shelby, I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah.
But we pulled through, and the shark mask though, that actually, it was FX makeup, and it kind of pinched my nose here too. So that being sick as well kind of took away from the breathing.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was tough.
Wow, good looking out,
Whitney. Didn't Whitney compete with a broken neck or her
these
leg?
girls are crazy.
Yeah, she's always got something.
I mean, Missy, that's something that most of us do not comprehend, and I need your help with that. I had a chance to talk to Whitney Jones, and Whitney Jones said, Terrick, I have a broken shoulder, I have broken this, I have broken that, but I'm not the only one. All those girls up there have broken bones and we're jumping, but it's what we do.
Yeah.
Do you suffer a lot of injuries? I mean, is it part of your career to just have injuries on the yearly basis?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of comes with the fitness division, right? We
Just nonchalant. Yeah.
like shoulders, shoulder injuries, leg injuries. I mean, it just comes with it. I personally try not to like talk about it because I don't want to bring that like negative attention to myself. If on my YouTube channel, like after a show, I'll do like behind the scene footage and let you know like, oh, I tore my rotator and I've had whatever cortisone shots in my shoulder or something. But luckily that hasn't happened since like 2020. So one of the biggest things though, Terrick, taking the Arnold off this year has allowed me to like heal those nagging injuries.
Yeah,
I think with the fitness competitors, we're always having to compete so much that we don't have that time off to heal. But like I said, I'm feeling super healthy and I'm ready. 26 weeks, and I'm coming for it.
Oh,
Like Bob Ciccarello said, don't ever tell Whitney to break a leg before a show.
oh my gosh, Bob.
Bob, you're gonna go to the apology tour. I'm just letting you know.
Hey, I got it. Hey, Terrick, when you had Chris apologize to the camera for Missy, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. That's the thing. I like the fitness. I think the fitness division has become more attractive for the fans because there is a little bit of a rivalry.
Mhm.
You've had 5 Olympias and you've had, one competitor won 3 and the other competitor won 2. There is
It's
a
exciting.
rivalry. They like to say they like each other, but I know they don't. You know what I mean? There is a rivalry between them. They want to beat the other one. They're blondes. They're amazing competitors. And then you got Ariel Kadar, you got Jacqueline Baker, you got the legend Oksana. But right now, it's really exciting to watch the fitness because you've had 5 Olympias and these 2 amazing competitors have shared it. The key question is, are they going to take it again? Is there going to be a new surprise? Now, I know Missy Truscott. She didn't like losing in 2021. She did not like losing. She's a winner. She likes winning every time she goes on stage. And when Chris Cormier made the pick of Ariel Kadar, she did not like it. Missy, is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, I think I was a little bit like upset because I am a huge fan of Chris and like what he's done in his career, right? So, I watch his like videos of him training on YouTube from like back in the day and stuff. And then I hear this guy I have so much respect for say I'm not going to win. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like
You're like, challenge on, game on.
Yeah, but I know it's all fun, right? Like
It pushed you more, so
it's all good.
Well, if you want, we can start a petition to remove Chris Cormier from Primetime Muscle. Isabelle, you can start that petition, right?
Starting right now.
Right now.
I think Chris is on the Missy train now, so.
Oh man, he's scared of you. So, I wanna ask you a question because Wendy brought up a really good point. In the figure division, the smaller the waist, the better, right? You get competitors that have a very small waist, that's going to overemphasize their V taper. And if you don't have a small waist, you can grow your shoulders, you can increase your quads, you can make the V. Even in the posing, Bojana Vasiljevic, she poses really well. She makes a really nice V taper with her posing. Have you noticed that maybe your waist has gotten a little bit bigger because you're a fitness competitor, because you girls have to, fall and stabilize your balance? Have you noticed that has expanded a little bit?
I don't think so. No, I work vacuums. I work abs in the off season, like leg raises, crunches. I honestly, Terrick, I think because I've had this break from the Arnold, not having to push my body, I honestly think my waist is tighter right now. And I'm like 20 pounds heavier than my stage weight.
Yeah.
Like I'm very excited to peel down in these next 26 weeks and you guys see this whole new Missy.
Ooh. I think that structurally you are so, your shoulder just bone structure is so wide as compared to your hip structure. Same thing with Isabelle, like just your structures. I mean, if you guys both of you, if you went out of your way to build obliques, I don't think that it would take away from your V tapers because of the fact that your structures are so crazy. Whereas, most women have, a lot of women have a natural kind of hourglass because that's just how women are naturally shaped, but some have a more dramatic X frame. I know for me, I was a gymnast, and when I started doing bodybuilding, I had really developed traps and obliques, and I had to work to atrophy those muscles to get my V taper to come out. But for some people, they could go out of their way to build thick obliques, and it would never take away. Yeah, see what I'm saying? Her structure is just insanity. I think you could build your obliques by an inch on each side, and your V taper would still be crazy.
And that conditioning is unreal. She always has sharp razor conditioning too.
Yeah, that was 2020. First year I won Olympia. This last Olympia, I was even tighter and drier. That's what the judges had asked of me. That's what they wanted to see, and I brought it.
Do we have a recent photo, Terrick?
Yeah. Let me find Missy. I'm gonna say that I liked your 2020 performance.
And so much, it was like lights out. It was such an amazing performance. He just decided.
There he is.
On the edge of our seats, Terrick.
I'm sorry. I went back on the page that we were doing instead of going on the other page. But Missy, my question to you while I look for the picture is, do you consider your 2020 performance better than 2022 or the other way around?
I actually think that my best performance was the routine I did in 2021, the John Meadows tribute with the wings. The skills that I did were incredibly difficult. The strength moves, everything was executed. I just think that maybe the beginning was a little bit too slow, whereas Whitney came out, Whitney style, that like attitude that she has on stage. That was my favorite routine.
Look at how wide you are. That's just insanity.
Oh yeah,
Can we convince her to do a physique show at one point?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, no, Missy Truscott is incredible. I mean, it's incredible that a human being can look this way and can do the amount of artistic, athletic work she does on stage and look like this. I mean, it's
that's what I'm saying.
I call them the heroes. I mean, if you sit down with all the official and the judges, we have a special admiration for the fitness competitor. How can you look like this, be on a diet, and then go ahead and do some of the most amazing athletic work on stage? It's incredible. I mean, it's unbelievable. They are the heroes of the IFBB Pro League. I have no words to describe them. I mean, this is an amazing look here, huh? But in terms of your physique, what do you think is your best physique? 2020, 2021, or 2022?
Ooh, good question.
I think it was this year, and the scorecard proved it, right? I was first in the physique round, first in the fitness routine. If there's a back shot, I tightened up the hamstrings, the tie-ins got tighter, and my back got better.
Yep.
From previous years.
It was popping.
Yeah. So I do think 2022 was my best look. And that's at personally 80% because I was sick.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, it's I'm truly blessed, guys, because I've been doing this for a long time, competing in the IFBB fitness division, and now I'm at a point in my life where like I'm making money from this. I have supplement contracts, other sponsor endorsements where this is my career, and I absolutely love it. Bodybuilding has been such an outlet for me where it's healthy for me. I'm more confident than I've ever been, and I'm able to help people with like my coaching as well. So I owe my life to bodybuilding, and I hope that this inspires other people in the industry to keep pushing, and newcomers that anything's possible if you keep going.
Yeah.
Who made this? Who made this?
That's what I'm just thinking.
So that is a company from Saturday Night Live. They do all the belts for them.
No way.
I can't give my contact though on here because then other girls will start stealing it, and I those I gotta keep to myself. But guys, I'm very excited for the Shoes Olympia because I have my theme done, my music is done. I'm working with Adela for the routine, and obviously my own choreography. So I mean, I'm 26 weeks out, and the ball's already like in my court.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this picture. What in the world are you doing upside down with the mask?
We just are just in awe. This is just nuts.
Does your family go, Missy, you're gonna hurt yourself? Don't do that.
No, of course not. All of the skills I do, Terrick, I was like a level 10 gymnast, so I'm very confident in my body and my skills, and I would never do anything that could potentially hurt me.
That's so awesome. I think when we look at, because if we're going to look at, I think the top two right now, you and Whitney, I just look at you two as just being such dominant competitors in this division right now. And I think a lot of it has to do with what Terrick was saying about your power and your energy that you bring to the stage is really hard to match, but you two both have different strengths, honestly. Like when I look at both of you, you're both under the umbrella of power and, charisma and energy. But, when I look at you, you have, because of your structure and your flipping abilities, you look effortlessly like you could do so many flips and you get so high and, you have so much power. And then when I look at Whitney, she doesn't do all the flips, but when I look at her, she looks like you just press the fast forward button on the TV. You know what I mean? Like if you ever watch her routine, it looks like you press fast forward and you see Whitney going, and I'm like, it's going at regular pace, right? So she's just like so fast and so powerful. You have so much energy and you have so much gymnastics ability. You're both good at balance. You're both good at control. You're the only one I've ever seen do a handstand on stilts, though. That was nuts.
Oh,
that was the craziest thing I think I've ever seen you do. But yeah, but you do both have this umbrella of power and energy. I see you as like flipping more. I see Whitney as being really, really fast. So the two most dominant competitors, it's really interesting to me. You know what I mean? It's going to be so crazy to see how this plays out this year.
What's cool about Missy and Whitney, they both put on great routines right at the very start. It's just boom. It
Boom.
wakes you up and it gets you engaged. So I'm sorry I got lost for a second because
I know we lost you.
Adela Garcia had to answer a text. So she says that Missy is going to win the Olympia this year.
She's the best. You know, she was like messaging me backstage at this year's Olympia. And I mean, her and I have become so close because I'm actually sponsoring her show. So she's having the Adela Garcia IFBB Fitness Pro show. It's the first ever. And I'm like collabing with her, giving the prize money for the fitness division. Yeah. So I'm getting this really.
When is the show? When is the show, Missy?
June 3rd in Austin, Texas.
Oh, wow.
Is the Adela Garcia Classic?
Yes.
And there's a Fitness Pro show.
Yes.
Okay. And you're going to be there.
Yeah, I'm going to be there. I'm bringing the prize money for the gals, and I'm getting, like, I haven't said this yet, a custom trophy. It's 2 feet high, and it's I'll post it on my Instagram. They're in the process of making it. So
now, Missy, do you think you can get some footage of the winner of the trophy so I can feature on Olympia TV, on Olympia News?
Of course, yeah.
I would love to feature that on Olympia TV with the winner. So a lot of the pros, sometimes they go to the shows and they send me pictures, and I get to feature some of the new stars. So if you're going to be there, please send me that. I'd love to cover the show, help out Adela, and in addition to display the trophy and to show support to the new champion.
Love it. Yeah, we'll definitely do that. I'll give you all the pictures and everything. But yeah, it's such a great opportunity for me, being Miss Fitness Olympia, to give back to the division. You know, it's cool because I have a client who's doing the show, and she won her pro card at the Amateur Olympia this year. So it's kind of like full circle. Like I'm seeing these young girls come up, and
I have a question for you. Is Adela ever coming back? I feel like we get little teasers.
Yeah, I
she doesn't know.
Let her answer that.
Good, smart. That's smart. It's a good way to get yourself out of a pickle.
Missy, we have a feature on Olympia TV called Olympia Battle, and we did it with Chris Bumstead versus Ramon Dino. And just today on Olympia Instagram page, it was announced that Jeremy Buendia and Aaron Bates are going to face each other on June 8th.
This is going to be good.
Ooh.
Yeah.
These two love each other for sure.
No, they really don't like each other. I mean, I don't even need to put some fire on that. They don't like each other. I have it on camera. One blocked the other one and said, "I'll block you. I don't care about you. I'll block whoever I want." I have that on camera. My question to you, Missy Truscott, because I talked to the other blonde girl, okay? I talked to the other blonde, and I said, listen, if there's an Olympia battle, okay, and there's a place where you can challenge her, where you can go against her, would you do it? And the other blonde, last name Jones, said, bring her up, Terrick. Bring her up. I will take her to school. So if we do
contests, or
if we do Olympia battle between Whitney Jones and Missy Truscott, are you in or are you out?
100%. I'm in. Yeah.
I want to see them doing pirouette contests. Like who can do like who spin around the most times.
So I have been planning this my entire life. Okay. This is going to be more exciting than any other guys. We have scheduled in a few weeks, we're going to release the Olympia battle between two bodybuilders, okay? And it's going to shock the world. We have the two men's physique guys going in on June 8th. We had Chris Bumstead and we had Ramon Dino. There was 250,000 people that watched on the Olympia TV live. And I'm going to do Whitney Jones versus Missy Truscott. So Whitney Jones and Missy Truscott. Missy, are you confirmed? Are you ready to go?
Oh, 100%. As long as it doesn't conflict with my like guest appearance in other like priorities, I'm
They're
in.
both down.
Yeah.
All right, all right, all
Do
right.
it.
It's a mission I'm going to schedule. We're going to bring you into the Olympia headquarters. We're going to create an environment where you girls can do some basic exercises. We're going to shoot it live on Olympia TV so the world can see it.
What's on the line? What does the winner get?
Well, we have 2 trophies, and then the audience decides who the winner is. In the last one, the audience decided that Chris Bumstead beat Ramon Dino. And Ramon Dino was upset, but I said, listen, I'm sorry. You just don't have that many fans.
Oh,
Boy.
And then all the dinosaurs start popping up.
All the crazy dinosaurs start popping up. Yes. No, I think it would be awesome because with all the other categories, it's a workout between them. And the cool thing is Chris Cormier is the one that manages the workout. And after the workout, we get a chance to see who's the best one at the gym. And it's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting to watch bodybuilders working out with other bodybuilders.
It
Because
is. That is cool.
if you've been in the bodybuilding industry, if you've been working out for 30, 40 years, you look at 2 people working out and you can tell who knows how to work out better than the other. It's a fact. Some people, their negative is better. Some people, that you can see that they're hitting the muscle. They have better muscle-mind connection. You can see some people are just more effective at the gym than others. You know, it's a fact. You know, if you look at Dexter Jackson working out, he's a genius working out.
Yeah.
You know, he never hurt himself. He did all the exercises with, you know, extreme caution, but he also made sure to go heavy enough to develop the muscle. And a lot of the young guys, when they go to the gym, they're already really good bodybuilders, but they just don't have the experience of some of these older guys. That's the tendency that we tend to see.
now, I've seen Missy train, and she's pretty hardcore.
Yeah, and we're going to see them we're going against each other.
Yeah, that'd be
She
cool.
enters a new realm.
I don't know if Whitney and I train like, I don't know if we train like on the same level. I know she does more of like HIIT type of training. I'm more like volume heavy. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting when her and I.
Well,
Mhm.
Chris
Right.
Cormier if Chris Cormier decides on the workout, then maybe it'll be a little bit different than what you normally do and a little bit different than what she normally does.
Maybe
Yeah.
he'll surprise both of you.
Can we
surprise
see
you both.
a Terrick and Chris Cormier Olympia battle?
Yeah, absolutely. That's called a sumo fight. That's what they call sumo, Isabelle.
Oh my!
And that's the ultimate losing followers, okay? Could you imagine seeing 2 hairy fat guys working out?
Hey, we didn't say it. We didn't say it.
That's exactly what would happen.
Winning.
You know, well, I gotta say, Missy, you're an amazing competitor. Your physique is incredible. What you do on stage is incredible, and I think you've given a light with Whitney Jones to the fitness division, which is really attractive. I see more young competitors coming to the division because they want to be like you. They want to be like Missy Truscott. They want to have the fame. They want to have the personality of Missy Truscott. You've made the fitness division more popular and better.
Thank you.
I try, and this is what I love, Terrick. This is my passion. Like I said before, I'm blessed to be able to make a career out of this, have an income. And I love bodybuilding. I'm very thankful for the Olympia, for Jake Wood, for, recognizing the women's prize money and upping it every year. Like it's really awesome. And I'm glad to be part of this. Bodybuilding is my life, and I love it. I love every division.
Thank you so much. That is the superstar, 2-time Fitness Olympia Champion, Missy Truscott. If she wins in 2023, she'll be equalizing the amount of titles that her mega enemy and rival Whitney Jones has. And they will be facing each other on Olympia Battle. I want to thank my co-hosts, Fit Rock Star, Isabelle Terrell, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And Wendy
Wait.
Fortino, Olympian figure, thank you so much. I will see you guys in the next Olympia Live. Bye-bye.
Thank you.